Hello everyone, welcome to chapter 92 on my RLDR Custom Creations YouTube channel. I'm sitting on my tractor in the shop, so it's not going to be quite your typical snowblowing video. And if you want to see what we're going to do today, all you have to do is stay tuned. Well, when I'm sitting on my lawn tractor like this, usually you'd come to expect another snowblowing video. We actually did that a couple of videos ago, and that was fun to do. But this video is a little different. So it started out as a snowblowing video, and it turned into something else. So I'm just going to roll a little bit of footage of blowing snow, and I'll tell you what's going on as that's rolling.
Well, I didn't expect to be doing a voiceover on this, but with my computer problems and tractor issues, this is what it's come to. Kind of a dramatic effect there, driving into the fog, so to speak. Looks kind of cool. And yeah, this is a big dump of snow we had a weekend ago. And you can see, as you'll see in the video, the little bit that I have, that all the neighbors are out and the shovels and the snow blowers and the scoops are all being put to fairly good use. Our town is really good with getting the streets cleaned by our place, and we really appreciate that. Sheila was my camera person for this one, and she's standing inside our main picture window of the house, and you get the view of the odd mullion in the back or in the foreground. So, but that's all right. This is hard to set up, and it's cold outside, and really appreciate her taking the time to try to get whatever video she could from inside our house. But yeah, it was working okay. The blower was all fine, and I thought it would just be another normal day of blowing snow off my driveway. And the we used to have a lot of tower poplars around our yard, and we never had snow blow onto our driveway in the past like we do now. So it comes kind of whipping down the other street there and deposits snow in a big drift right about 6 feet in front of our house. So that's been a little bit of a challenge the last couple of years, but it's nothing that we can't adjust to. And I would rather be blowing snow than raking leaves. So although the trees were really nice to have around, but they weren't healthy and they were all dying, so it was time to get rid of them. But yeah, the blowing the snow, like I say, went fairly well, and I was not expecting to have to quit and make repairs during the day yet, but we're coming up to the point where that's going to actually happen. So yeah, everything was working good. This has been a really nice tractor. I've quite enjoyed it. The only thing about it is with the blower out front like that, well, I guess they're all like that, but it is kind of long. And when I have to store it in my shop with all my other stuff, it's a little bit of a hassle, as you'll see a little later on. But so yeah, here I am heading into the twilight. Oh, and there we are. Okay, now I'm this is where the trouble had started. Now I'm gesturing Sheila to tell me if the augers are spinning or not. Because on this tractor, you have to shut everything down to get off of it. And I couldn't do it. So I got her attention and ran the tractor and would gesture to her whether the augers were running or not. And then she'd nod and or not or say no, and away we go. But yeah, you can kind of see what the problem is there. But I'm going to leave you in a little bit of suspense yet. And yeah, we're not blowing any more snow. There's no point in continuing. So here I am. We're going to back it into the shop and see what's going on.
Well, there it is. If you were paying attention towards the end of that last clip, you'll notice that it wasn't blowing snow like it should. And I was motioning to Sheila, who was shooting video, to let me know if the augers were spinning. And I'm just going to work around to the front of the shop or front of the tractor here. And my shop is pretty full. So we had lots of students in here today. So anyway, the augers were turning, and it took me a while to figure out. Finally, I had to shut everything down. And with this tractor, you can't get off the tractor and have the tiller run. So I couldn't, or the snowblower run. So what I had to do is get out, or now you can see me in the video. I'm on my hands and knees in front of this thing. And I cleaned all the snow out of here. And then I realized that the fan was not connected to the drive shaft. So those welds that came from the factory were pretty anemic. They were just small little tack welds onto the fairly light sheet metal fan. So I welded it. Luckily, I could do it without taking this all apart because that concerned me. So I welded it up, and I'm really hoping that I had everything balanced and centered as good as I thought I had because the welding isn't pretty, but there's a lot of it there. So I'm hoping that's going to work. We're going to take it out in the later part of this video, and you'll see what happens. The other thing I did while I had it in here was these feet were just a little bit too small. You can see that they were about 3/4 of an inch. Well, I added 1/8 and a half plate to them, bent the back and the front up, and adjusted it pretty much in the highest position. Now I did this to both sides. See, you can see that there. It's tack welded. It should be good enough. And it's welded from the back, which you'll never see. So right now I have, I think, about 1.5 inches that this is off the snow. So hopefully it'll prevent some of that shrapnel shooting that I've been doing when I do our crushed rock driveway. But one of the problems this year is the temperature was fairly cold when we got our first snow. And even though I did pack it, with the combination of the drier snow and the wind, it blew all the cover off the front of our driveway where it touches the pavement. So that is a spot that I go over, and it just isn't, those rocks are not covered, and the blower picks them up and shoots them all over the place. So I'm hoping that what I did here is going to be the fix for this, and maybe I'll have a blower that throws snow again, and one that is high enough that it doesn't throw rocks. So I am going to get dressed, and we're going to go out and see if this thing works. So I think I'll bring you guys along for that. Well, unfortunately, I don't have any video of my repairs in action. I'm not sure what happened. It just, the camera, just whatever. Technical difficulties, that's to be expected in these videos. But just to let you know how everything worked. The fan worked beautifully. I was a little concerned about getting it back on the shaft exactly the way it was. And then, of course, was it out of balance, or did I get it on the same plane that it was before so it didn't hit anything else? I spun it all over manually as I welded it, and it looked good all the time. And when I ran the machine, it was perfect. In fact, I suspect this was going failing for quite a while, because there was a kind of a noise, a ticking noise that this machine would make all the time, and that's gone now. So I welded it really heavy. Like I said in the video, it isn't pretty. It was kind of hard to get in, and I don't know, the eyes aren't what they used to be. I couldn't see the weld as good as I would have liked to, and it was kind of innocent in the dark. So And the next modification I made was the plates that keep it gliding along the snow, and I widened those to 1.5 inches, like I said earlier in the video, and that worked really well. I did get into one area where I was in fresh snow over crushed rock, and yeah, I still did throw a little bit of stone, but nothing like I would have before. And on my driveway, now I know I had snow and it got packed a bit again, but I had absolutely no problems on my front or back driveway. This broke as I was just finishing my front driveway, and I hadn't touched the back at all. So today I went out there and blew that off, and it worked really well. The only problem that I'm noticing is it wants to float a little bit more now. So I imagine I don't think I'd want to go any wider than 1.5 inches. Those plates that I welded on, excuse me, are 1.5 inches by 10 inches long. So that worked out really well. So I'll keep you informed, and I'll probably do another snowblowing video during the course of the year. But for right now, I'm quite happy with the way this thing is blowing and working, and everything's worked out fine. So yeah, kind of a little bit of an odd video even for me. When you have some camera trouble and snowblower trouble and all that stuff, it just kind of works together. And hopefully this is something that you're interested in watching. And I sure appreciate that you have been watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you on the next video.